Hello class, this is Miss Hirsch, and today we're going to talk about charcoal. Charcoal is one of the oldest methods of drawing. There are cave paintings in France that still have the charcoal that was used by humans thousands of years ago. So it's pretty significant in the development of art in general. We're going to have a few new materials, so I'm going to talk about those real quick. First off, we're going to talk about charcoal. There's two different types. This is vine charcoal. Basically, somebody took a piece of wood and made it into charcoal. It's exactly the stuff that you would grill on the grill. This is compressed charcoal. It's like basically somebody took a bunch of this, ground it up, and put a binding agent on it and made a big block of it. What's the difference? Vine charcoal is a little bit lighter. You can see already that compressed charcoal, that's this, it has a much darker stroke than this does. This is kind of softer. This also smears quite a bit more than this. They both, like, you can almost get rid of everything. The compressed charcoal, on the other hand, you can smudge it, but you can still see the original lines. This is probably a good time to talk about, oh, there's one more material. This is what we call a kneaded eraser. Kneaded erasers are different from your regular pink erasers because they're like stretchy and they stick back together and they're pretty awesome. What do you use these for? You can blot and remove pigment. You can rub and remove pigment. But one of the most useful things that these are used for is to get like kind of like a point and then use it as a way to get highlights in something. So like you draw something, let's say you draw a sphere real quick, and your shadow's over here and your shading, and let's say you shade too much, like you go all the way around, and your highlight just isn't all that it could be, right? So you're going to take your kneaded eraser, and you're gonna add a little bit of highlight by removing some of that charcoal right there. It's not a super great example, but when you guys start using it yourselves, you'll see that it's very useful to have one of these erasers around. So it's probably good to talk about the first rule of charcoal. The first rule of charcoal is do not touch other people's artwork. Alright? Already you can see that my hands are very dirty. Just touching the paper, it leaves a line. That's one thing. You will make other people's artwork dingy if you touch it. Another thing, let's say you got like something that's really cool and you've been working on it for a while, and somebody goes like, wow, this is so awesome. Oh no, the lines are disappearing because you're touching it and it's charcoal and it will go away. It's like these lines will just disappear, like completely and utterly disappear if you guys touch them without using fixative. What is fixative? Like, see, it's like, oh, it's just like gone now. All my hard work, gone. Do not touch other people's artwork. What is fixative? Fixative is basically like clear spray paint. And that's going to be what we use to stick this stuff to the paper so that this terrible thing doesn't happen and you don't end up with charcoal all over your body. Okay, Rule 2, do not spray fixative inside. It will be bad for you to do this. Very bad. It'll get everywhere. You need to go outside. I'll show you guys how to do it when we get to that point. Third thing, you notice this stuff gets everywhere. Like, it's a very messy medium. So the third thing is, after you put up your drawing, wipe down your table with a damp washcloth. This powder will get everywhere. It will get on the next class's artwork, and they will be very angry when their nice, pretty pictures end up with charcoal dust all over them. You're probably also going to want to wash your hands before you go to your next class, just so you don't get it everywhere. All right, activity 1. You're going to experiment with charcoal. You guys are all going to get a piece of vine charcoal, and you're just going to draw with it. So you can make a very wide stroke. You can make a very narrow stroke depending on how if you use the sharp edge of your charcoal. You can even take a small one of these and just use it as a way to shade. There's a lot of different methods to use this, and I'm going to show you guys a little later some of the different types of art that people do with charcoal. But right now, all I want you to do is doodle and check out the types of lines you can make, and touch it so that you can see how very fragile this is before you get that fixative on it, and how dirty your hands get. This is gonna get messy, guys, but that's the way it is. So I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes to work on that. Whee, drawing. You should have in your caddies. You should have some vine charcoal, and you should have some scratch paper. So get a piece of this, go to town, and in about 5 minutes we will regroup.